Hi everybody, how you doing? My name's Tim Went and I am a graduate of Marion High School, class of 1974. I'm a professional musician. I've been a trumpet player almost my entire life. I actually started trumpet June 1968 at Washington Junior High School. It's been all I've ever done my entire life and I have no intention of stopping anytime soon. Being a professional musician, I've got to experience a lot of wonderful things and work with some amazing performers, and I've been asked to tell you all about my times performing with the Queen of Soul, Aretha Franklin, the undisputed Queen of Soul. There'll never be another. I started performing with Aretha in the summer of 2006 in the New York City area, and I got to perform with her maybe a dozen times or so up until her passing last year, and almost all of those in the capacity as her lead trumpet player. And I've been asked to tell a couple stories, kind of backstage stories that many people don't know about. So one of those would be that she had an absolute aversion to air conditioning. In fact, it was in her contract that there would be no active air conditioning in the theater when she showed up. And she used to get to the theater 8 o'clock curtain. She used to get there 6:30, 7 o'clock or so. Well, to make sure everything was nice and warm, they'd cut the air conditioning around 5 p.m., which is when the orchestra's still rehearsing. So come 8 o'clock curtain time, theater's nice and warm. Well, we were doing a benefit performance for a charity, I forget what the charity was, at a location in the Wall Street district called Cipriani's. Cipriani's used to be a bank. Now it's a privately owned venue for events. You can rent it out if you want. And this was a charity. There was people that had paid a lot of big money to come see and hear Aretha. So 5 o'clock rolls around, they cut off the air conditioning. When she gets on stage, we're pretty much just dripping in sweat, but it's warm for Aretha. She's happy. That's the only thing that matters. Well, we start the concert. We finish the first song. We get ready to start the second one, and she says, "Stop, stop, stop everything. I'm cold. Fix it." So this had never happened before. Somehow, somewhere, the stage crew found 3 small space heaters. They brought them out on stage, put them around her, and that's where she did the rest of her performance inside that little area of nice, toasty warmth. Another air conditioning story would be Radio City Music Hall. I got to play for her what turned out to be her Radio City Music Hall debut in March of 2007. We did 2 performances, a Friday and Saturday night. And we come back for the show on Saturday night, and the stage at Radio City Music Hall is in 5 or 6 different sections that could be raised or lowered depending on what act wants to happen. So there's a gap, maybe a 1/4-inch gap between each of those sections. And we come back for the second night show, and all of those gaps had been covered with duct tape because apparently she was feeling some sort of draft from the area below the stage. She absolutely did not want any sort of cold air conditioning around her at all when she performed. All right, the next story, and this is an addition to a famous story that a lot of people know. But Aretha, when she would arrive to a venue, was always presented by the concert promoter with an envelope that had $25,000 in cash in it. And that was her extra performance, called a tip if you want, for performing. This is above and beyond what she was paid just for doing the performance. And she would put that envelope in her purse, and that purse was with her the entire time she's in the theater. Well, we'd start the show, and we'd do the overture, and the crowd's going crazy, and then she would come out. She would be escorted out to the front of the stage by her personal valet, a guy named Willie Wilkerson. She would then center stage. Willie would then kind of bow to her, and then she would give Willie that purse. Willie would then put that purse with the envelope in it underneath the grand piano, which was on stage. She would play piano on a couple of tunes towards the end of the show. And she would then do the rest of the performance, every now and then just kind of looking back at the purse. Well, we always had at least 2 encores prepared to play for the end of the show, sometimes 3 or 4, depending on what Aretha wanted to do. And she would finish the concert, she'd walk off into the wings, crowd go crazy, come out, do the first encore, she'd walk off, crowd go crazy, come do the second one. So we always knew when we were finished, because instead of Aretha coming out, it'd be Willie who would come out to the grand piano, retrieve the purse, bring it back to Aretha, who's in the wings, and that way Aretha always knew where that money was. You know, should have been a lot more. She always just did amazing performances. And I understand you guys are doing a little a tribute to Aretha Franklin. I think that's a wonderful thing to do. There's been so many great performances in that auditorium, and I'm sure this will be another one of them. I want to thank Mark Fauser and Bobby Owensby for allowing me to be part of this. I wish you guys the best of luck on everything. And students, stay in school, study, be good people, be the best person you possibly can be, and enjoy life. Thank you all for your time. Hope to see you sometime soon. I got to go do some practicing. Okay, bye.